Hi student, good morning to all, and this is a video for class 12 computer science. Today we are going to start new chapter, that is idea of an algorithm efficiency. So the agenda of this video, I will cover it. So what is an algorithm, what is an efficiency of algorithm, what is computational complexity and resource needed for effective executions of your program, Bicode notation, dominant term, and calculating complexity. So first very topic is, so what is an algorithm? So an algorithm is a step-by-step solution to the program. So what is step-by-step solutions? If we are doing anything, so we have to do first give input. So after giving the input, what you are going to do? So we are going to make process. After process, finally we are going to get the result. So based on that, if you are doing that any program in the step by step order, that is called as a algorithm. So before writing the before you are doing the program, first we should write the some algorithm, the some steps. So the particular step is called as algorithm. So it is not executable statement. The particular statement is not executed. Only for the user identifications we are going to write that algorithm. Okay, so for example, now I'm going to prepare a coffee or tea. So what we are going to do there? So first we are going to take some milk, and then we are going to add some water, and then we are going to add some tea powder or coffee powder, and then these are the input. Okay, and the next what you are going to do there? So we are going to process. So we are going to boiling the water and milk, everything, correct? And then what is a result? So we are going to get the cup of coffee, that is a result. So same like that, if you are doing any process, any work, so we are going to do that in that step by step order, that is called as an algorithm. So same way, if you are going to write any program, so you are writing the steps, that particular steps is called an algorithm. Now I'm going to add a two number. So if you want to add a two numbers, so what is the things for the input? So we want to need the first number and we need a second number, correct? So after getting the two input, next what is that? We are going to do the process. So how we are going to do the process? So my process is C equal to A plus B. So I have the first value on A and the second value on B. So after that, so we are going to add the two value, and the result will be stored on another variable. The variable name is called C. So now the process will be over. So after calculating, I want to print the result. So how we are going to display how we are going to do that? So with the help of display options or with the help of print options, we can print the result. I think already you have studied what is the meaning of algorithm in 11th standard. Simply I am going to explain that. So what is the basic things on algorithm? So what is the algorithm? It is a basically step by step solution to the program, and then that is called an algorithm. And then I told an example also. And then next, what is an efficiency of an algorithm? What is an efficient? What do you mean by efficiency? So a program is said to be efficient if it uses low amount of overall resources and lesser time. That is efficiency. For example, what is good efficiency? If you are doing any program, it will take only for the less time for the compilation, correct? And then it will display the result very soon. So if it will happen like that, the particular program is a good program. Okay, that is a efficient program. And then next is, so if efficiency depends on two factors, one for the internal factor and another one for the external factor. And then the efficiency means is the program is said to be the efficiently if use the low amount of overall resource and lesser time, means if the execution is fast and it will need the less resources. So the efficiency depends on the two factors. Resource, I discussed what are the resource that is will be needed. So this is efficiency depends on two factors, one for the internal factor and another one for the external factor. So internal factor means time and space that is needed to run a program. So we cannot control the internal factor, but we can control the external factor. So which are the size of input, speed of computers, and quality of compiler. So size of input means sometimes we are giving the one program for the two input and another one for program for the three input. So based on this the user can control that. And the speed of computer means someone using this i3 process and somebody using this i5 process, and the based on this process the program will be display the result soon. And the next quality of compiler, based on the compiler it will display the result also soon. So these are the things is basically is called as a efficiency. So external factors are in our hand, but internal factors we cannot do, we cannot manipulate, so we cannot change. So now we are going to discuss about that. What is computational complexity? Computational complexity is made up of two words. So first one for the computations and second one for the complexity. So computational is basically mean what the problems are to be solved, and complexity means the difficulty level or ever things which are needed to execute a program, and study of factors to determine how much resource are sufficient for the efficient executions of program. See, the execution should be efficient. It means proper result we should get through the proper use of resources. If the program is developing such a way, then more number of resources are needed or lot of time is needed for an execution of the particular program, so the program is not effective. So any one program can be done in different methods, the way which we are following to the any program, so then the way may differ. Obviously one program can be do it in the done in different ways. We have to take a new that is should use minimum resource and it should lesser time. The program is efficient program, correct? So if the program is efficient, it will take only for the lesser time. And then so the resource which I discussed, obviously the resource is based on the only for the time, and the second one is for the space. And the space is basically is the memory needed and the time to run the algorithm. The space, that is the memory of storage needed to run the algorithm. So these two things we will concentrate on these two things. So if we are control this about the program, it will be effective. So now Bitcode notation, it is now we are going to talk about the Bitcode notation, and it is used to debug an algorithm to grow rate. It means it is a basically method of determining how faster and how the slower an algorithm is. It means when we are manipulating an algorithm, it should be whether if it is fast or slow. This can be done through Bitcode notation in this method. So Bitcode notation is sometimes called the asymptotic notation. It's a mathematical notation that describes the limiting behavior of the function when the arguments tends towards a particular value or infinitive. In the computer science, Bitcode notation is used to classify the algorithms according to how their running times or space requirements grows as the input size. That means it denotes as n grows. Though this notation characteristics functions according to their growth rates, Different functions with the same growth rate may be represented using the same O notations. Okay, so it's already said. So we are generally use this big code notation to describe the time complexity of an algorithm. There is a lot of math involved in the formal definitions of the notations, but informally we can assume that the big code notations gives the algorithm's approximate runtime in the worst case. So we are using the big code notation. We describes the algorithm efficiency based on the increasing the size of input, that means the value is n. For example, if the input is a string, the n will be the length of the string. If it is the list, the n will be the length of the list, and so on. So based on this we are going to calculate the big code notations. And then next one, so it is not a successful, so we are going to move to the dominant term. So why it is means big code notation is the functions which is the parameter n, where the n is size the input to the algorithm, more is the input size, more is the impact of performance. So we are giving the more input size means it will be get sometimes will be slower. So next we are going to move to the dominant term, is the term which will affect the performance. The performance will be very effective. And the example, if the algorithm has the performance CO plus C1 n plus C2 plus n square, in this performance dominant terms is, so what is the constant value? C square and n square. So we have some constant value. So based on this constant value we can do that algorithm, we can calculate this value easily. So we can get only for the lower time for the executions of this program. See here, so what are the way to we are going to calculate that? We are using the some other method, and the first method is loop. So this is the calculating complexity. So how we are going to calculate the complexity? So using the loop method, so for I in range, so we are passing the first value, that means I 1 comma n. So n is based on the range. So next we are going to print I. So print I means now we are going to print the t value. So what is the formula? Total time equal to n minus 1 star t equal to, so nt minus t. So now finally we are getting the big code notations of O of n. And then next we are going to using the calculating of complexity, and then this is the second method for the nested loop. So what is a nested loop? We are writing the loop inside another loop, we are writing that. So that is called as a nested loop. So here I am going to write the first loop, and then for I in range, here I am passing the two value 1 comma n. So 1 may be the greater than n and 1 may be the lesser than n. So here I am going to write this another one for loop for k in range and then n. Here I am going to print this value high, and then how many, here I am going to use this number of for loops. So time taken it will be somewhat more. Okay, so total time equal to n minus 1, 2 times it will be execute. So big code notations of n square we can get it. And the third one, calculating complexity methods. So consecutive statements. So consecutive statements, here we are going to write the first for loop. So for I in range of 1 comma n, so here I am going to first print t1 value, and the next we are going to we are going to print the t2 value. Here I am going to use this normal for loop, and then here I am going to use this nested for loop. So if we are using this both the concept, this is called as this consecutive statement. And then based on this example we can get the big code notations n square value. And the fourth statement, calculating conditional statement. So what is a conditional statement? If you are using the if statement in the program, the particular statement is called as conditional statement. So here we are checking the t1. If the t1 is correct, it will print the thank you, and the next suppose the condition is wrong, it move to the else part, and then here we are going to write this for the for loop we are using that, and then here we are going to print this t2 t3 and t4 value we are printing that. So here we are using the some formula, and then we are finding the big code notations value. And the fifth one method, logarithmic complexity, and an algorithm is said to have the logarithmic time complexities when it's reduced the size of the input data in each steps. It don't need to look at all the values the input data, so you don't want to give this each and every time for the value. So algorithm with logarithmic time complexities are commonly found in the operations on binary trains when we are using the binary search. So already we are discussed what do you mean by binary search, correct. So next, that means binary search means we are using by the 1 by half method, correct. We are going to find out the mid value. So after divide the mid value and where the value will be stored, and based on this we are going to find this answer, correct. So that is for the logarithmic method. And then conclusion of this video: maximum performance is always not desirable to choose the most appropriate algorithm. So based on this algorithm only the program will be executed. So we need to compare the different algorithm. So with the help of different algorithms, the program will be get some effective, correct. So remaining thing we will see in the next class. And then so what is the worst case, what is the best case, so how which is algorithm is best, we are discussing in the next class. I hope you all can understand this concept. And so this is somewhat difficult that, and then you have to know that basic concept, this what do you mean by algorithm. So which is efficiency, the algorithm is a step by step process, that clear, no. And then what is the efficiency means, if it in the program want to be get less time to compile the program, then the user want to get the result soon. So based on this we are going to give some input, so how the formula will be calculated. So that's why we are discussing this program. And then remaining thing will be saying in the next class. And thank you, student.